Toastmasters and honored guest. In 1941, Malcolm Little, later known as Malcolm X, was in prison. He'd been convicted of being a robber, a thief, and in fact he was one. He got convicted, he got sent up for 7 to 13 years. He's 21 years old, 1940s, mid-1940s. When he gets out, it's going to be the 50s. He's a black man, and he's got a criminal record. What does he do? He picks up the only book he can find, a dictionary. He picks it up and teaches himself 20 words a day, 20 words every single day. And he uses every single one of them. It was a harbinger of things to come. That he would be stuck with no prospects, no hope whatsoever. And he doesn't go into despair, he doesn't give up. He picks up the only book he can find and says, well, at least I'll learn 20 words a day. In prison, another convict turned him on to the black Muslims. Now, the black Muslims' main tenet of black Muslims is that the white man is the devil. And that all the problems in the world, including those facing the black Americans, is due to them. You might think that I wasn't very interested or wasn't particularly enthusiastic about anybody speaking for this group. But when Malcolm X talked, you just had to listen. I'll give one example of a speech he gave in 1963. He said here, I'm not here this afternoon as a Republican, nor a Democrat, not as a Mason, nor as an Ellen, not as a Protestant, nor as a Catholic, not as a Christian, nor a Jew, not a Baptist, not a Methodist. In fact, I'm not even here as an American, because if I was an American, the problem that confronted our people today wouldn't even exist. So I have to stand here today the way I was when I was born, a black man. Because before there was any such thing as a Republican or a Democrat, we were black. Before there was any such thing as a Mason or an Elk or a Jew, we were black. Before there was any such thing as a Christian, we were black. In fact, before there was any such place as America, we were black. And when America has long since passed from the scene, we will still be black people. Obviously, this is not written to me. But I feel it. You can feel his words. You can feel for him they're true. They were the first words I'd ever heard spoken of somebody really telling the truth, saying what they really feel. In that same speech, he went on to say, I'm going to tell it like it really is. Every election year, these politicians are sent down here to pacify us. They send us down here and they are set up by the white man. This is what they do. They send us drugs in Harlem to pacify us. They send alcohol down here to pacify us. They send prostitution down here to pacify us. Why, you can't even get drugs in Harlem without the white man. You can't get drug prostitution in Harlem without the white man's permission. You can't get gambling in Harlem without the white man. Every time you break a seal on a liquor bottle, that's a government seal you're breaking. Oh, I say unto you, and I say it again, you've been hacked, you've been hoodwinked, you've been bamboozled, led astray, run amok. That's what he does. Again, he's not speaking to me, but I feel it. It's so strong. It's so powerful. He's got such a sharp mind. Look on YouTube sometime. You'll see one of the sharpest people you ever want to see. And he said he was not nice. He did not polish. He did not sugarcoat his words. He said exactly what he felt. Sadly, in 1965, he died at the age of 39, having lived more in his life than the 62 years I've lived in my own. Even more sadly, he was not killed by the white man, who he spoke so many times against. He was killed by the Nation of Islam, a group he had helped to build up, that he founded, that he made into something much more greater than had we started. I took his loss very personally. I had read his books. I was only 11 years old, and I'd read his book, Autobiography of Malcolm X. It was the first book I'd ever read of somebody actually telling the truth. Obviously, I was too young to know how big a truth it was, or whether or not it was true, or what I really felt about it. But his words struck me as being so honest, as saying exactly what he really thought. Because of that, he is one of, I've always admired him. I've always admired him so very, very much. I've admired him because he told the truth. He told the truth. And